back.
We're back. We are back.
We are back.
And blacker than ever. Just kidding. We are from the mountains of Caucasus.
I got the Pugsley fit on today.
Yep.
All grown up.
All grown up Pugsley. I don't know what that makes me. Cool. I don't know. Not sure. So, in case you haven't, and this is your first time listening, we can be found everywhere on the internet. Wicked Paranormal Team on YouTube, on Facebook, and Twitch, and everything else.
Well, on TikTok.
Yeah.
On TikTok.
Yeah, our YouTube is. These episodes are on the Wicked Paranormal page on YouTube. If you want to at least follow us there, if this is your main way of consuming,
especially on TikTok, because I think we might just shoot a live.
Yeah, we might do a live here soon on the Talk.
I got it set up on the camera where I can put my phone there and do live as I'm recording a video.
Bang bang.
So
yeah. And then also we have merch, shirts, crossover bags, hoodies, shoes, backpacks, what the fuck ever. If you want something special, reach out to us at wickedparanormalteam@gmail.com. So if you have anything you want to talk to us about or, ask us about, feel free to reach us there. And if you want a custom piece of merch, like I know we don't have bandanas, but if you wanted something like that, or, some bedazzled custom pants, we can make it happen, dog.
Yeah.
We're trying to fund these ghost hunts, which we have one coming up.
We have one coming up soon. We don't want to name any dates for safety reasons, but there'll be one coming up let's see, what is this, March?
No, we're in April,
dog.
We're
in April now. So April, there should be one here in, May?
No, it's in April.
It's up in April.
Yeah, the 25th of April. We're doing one. But we got some special stuff coming down the pipe with some of the content we're dropping, some videos, some audio.
This time we're going to a haunted schoolhouse.
I'm surprised they let you within 500 feet, but
that was built
because it's not still a schoolhouse. It's okay.
It was also built on a graveyard.
Nice.
Oh man, some poltergeist shit. That movie fucked me up as a kid, dude.
They moved some of the headstones though, so there is, of course,
just the headstone.
Well, they moved the headstones and the bodies, but there's still apparently some bodies they may not have found or moved. So
yeah,
and it's a pretty old school.
Yeah,
like the 20s.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So, Sean, you have any current events you want to bring us? You want to talk about?
No, not right offhand.
No.
I've been fighting allergies here recently. So I've been, good old summer cough.
Yeah, I've been fighting some drainage myself, too.
So excuse me if I have a cough on here. I don't mean to, but this happens.
We'll edit it out as best we can. I have a couple of things here recently. So the Toronto Blue Jays have had 2 hot dog deal nights this week. $1 hot dogs, 1.77 hot dogs to celebrate their 1977 start.
Here's our producer.
Our producer Mary about to walk through the door while I'm talking about glizzies. The first night, the $1 hot dog night, 90,000 hot dogs. The second night, 77-cent hot dogs, over 100,000 by the 7th inning.
That's crazy,
dude. It's glizzy fest. Dress.
Hurry and shut the door, please.
Mary, I must confess, your timing is always bad, but that's okay. I'm not sad. I could write show tunes, bro. I could write songs like that all day. I mean, he's not even Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's just some guy now. He's like, fuck yeah, I made one thing that was popular. I'm out. And then he did the Golden Compass TV show, whatever that was. It had James McAvoy in it. What was that? It was based on the same shit as the Golden Compass, but it was like way more in depth. It's actually really good. I watched it. He was pretty good in that. I didn't even know who he was because I still haven't seen Hamilton.
Back to the episode.
Nah, dog, you can leave that in. Anyway, also another thing. So apparently, I don't know if I mentioned this last episode, or recently. The bullet that killed Charlie Kirk.
Yeah,
it's not possible.
Yeah, I heard about this.
For it to have come from the rifle they found.
Yeah, apparently
it's not just the rifling doesn't match because the bullet's shattered. Now
you gotta get.
I need the hat.
Thank you, producer Mary.
Thank you, producer Mary. Tinfoil hat time.
We'll have
Bam!
Wait.
All right, you have to put the
Let me get my toupee out.
you have to put the thing up when I do the emerald.
Oh
Bam! His is a different bam. Mine is. All right.
yeah. No, I got the same.
So,
It's the same one.
conspiracy here.
All right. I had to glue my toupee on.
Back in the 90s, Mossad, we all know who they are. Israeli Special Forces. And their version of their CIA would infiltrate these little terrorist cells with pagers.
Oh yeah, they blow them up.
Yes. And they had explosive devices in these pagers. And when a certain number would be called to this pager, a certain message sent to this pager,
Yeah.
the pager would explode.
They do the same thing now, but with cell phones.
Well, the theory is that the conspiracy is that it was the lapel mic exploding that killed Charlie Kirk, and that the explosives from that trace back to the explosives manufacturing facility in Tennessee that blew up.
Snap.
They didn't want it traced back to anywhere, so they blew up anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is for entertainment purposes only, okay? I've got a tinfoil hat on. I'm just saying it gets thick.
Yes.
And I've got more to bring later. Not on this subject, but conspiracies. All right, and that ends current news. What is this episode? 16?
No, it's 17.
17. It's only 17. That song's about pedos.
It totally is.
It's like,
dude.
she's not old enough, but I really want to fuck her.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop. It's not. Yeah.
It's
Even though my
all-
wife is 10 years younger than me.
He's only Epstein. That's what it should be called.
Oh, shit. That was the best version.
This is one.
Excuse me.
Oh, man.
That's what it should be.
And then, yeah.
He's only Epstein.
I made one the other day. It was a sweet cocaine line. Taking
shit.
back to the olden days, bro. Anyway, tinfoil hat off. Adding on the hat stack for a moment. All right, 17. It's my turn, guys.
Yeah, you go first today. It's,
I'm the problem, it's me. Just kidding, the problem is Taylor Swift. All right, so today I've brought a lady whose story was presented to me on an episode of Ancient Aliens. That's right. I put Ancient Aliens on, and this happened to be the story, and I was fucking enthralled.
that show be jamming though, man.
Dude, I was like, brother, there's some crazy shit on here.
Yeah.
Because I have a Xfinity box.
Oh,
They
yeah.
come with my internet, and it's just like a streaming box that has all the apps on it and shit. And it's got like Zumo Play or whatever the fuck it is. I don't
Yeah.
know. But it's just like free movies and shows, minimal commercials. So I was like, Ancient Aliens, fuck yeah. And that's kind of one of the shows I'll go to sleep to, because Nikki will put on like 50s song from another room with a picture background. And I'm like, no, give me something that's going to make my mind work before I go to sleep, because I want that shit to be working while I'm sleeping. You know what I'm saying?
Like learning while you sleep.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I get into. Plus, as a child, I say a child, in my late teens, early 20s, I would go to sleep to the History Channel, and
Yeah.
it would be Ancient Aliens, Modern Marvels, and Esteban Guitars, you know, because the fucking infomercial for Esteban Guitars. Very shitty guitars, by the way. Anyway, so the subject of this was lady by the name of Louise Eady, who was born in London in 1904. That's
Damn.
1904. It's
1904.
122 years ago. She was the only child to Reuben Ernest Eady, a master tailor born in Woolwich, and Caroline Mary Eady. She was raised in a coastal town, and at the age of 3, she fell down a flight of stairs, bumped her head, and couldn't get up in the morning. She briefly appeared dead. Right? They was like, oh shit, dude. And this is 1904. She's 3 years old, so that's 1907. I mean, 3-year-olds die all the time in 1907.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just a thing that happens. Most of the time it's because of the cold, but
Or disease.
they got a common cold that was just too harsh and couldn't get to a doctor
Yeah.
because it was a 3-day horse ride.
Or disease would get them.
That's why places are called defeated
Yeah.
and dismal. It was because that's what life out there was like, you know. Anyway, once she awoke and got to being a little kid again, she started exhibiting some strange behaviors and started asking her parents to be brought home. And they're repeatedly like, what do you know? What are you talking about? She had also developed foreign accent syndrome, which is something that I believe I've covered before.
Oh, yeah. That's
when
where,
I talked about like the
Yep.
brain stuff, you know,
Yep.
some people, they have
That's
accidents.
where you start speaking.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're multilingual. All of a sudden.
Yeah, or you have an accent, or you can play fucking piano, or
Yeah.
you're good at math. You know, there's some shit happens when you bop your noggin. So all of this caused conflict in her early life. Her Sunday school teacher requested that her parents keep her away from class because she had compared Christianity with heathen accent, or with quote unquote heathen ancient Egyptian religion, right? I mean, this is maybe 1910 by this time. She's
Wow.
7 years old, I guess, you know, probably
Yeah.
maybe even 10 years old. So 1910, 1913, somewhere in there, before the First World War. People didn't take kindly to that kind of stuff. Now, she was expelled from a girls' school after she refused to sing a hymn called on God to quote unquote curse the swart Egyptians. Her regular visits to a Roman Catholic church to hear the Catholic Mass, which she liked because it reminded her of quote unquote the old religion. They were terminated after a visit to her parents and an interrogation by a Catholic priest. So like a priest showed up and started asking a bunch of fucking questions.
Yeah, because he's like, what
Yeah.
are you talking about?
Yeah. It's like, man, this fucking kid is weird. So after her parents took her to a visit to the British Museum, the largest collection of stolen artifacts on the planet,
Right.
especially in the early 1900s, there was shit there that doesn't exist anymore, you know, because it's been hidden from public, like bones of giants.
Yeah.
After being taken there, she saw a photograph of the New Kingdom temple in Egypt and was like, that's my home. That's where I've been asking you to take me. But where are the trees? Where are the gardens? You know? And the particular picture, what was depicted in that picture was the temple of Seti I, the father of Ramesses the Great. She would run through there and fucking kiss statues' feet and stuff, all this, you know, because she was like, this is what I've been dreaming about. This is it.
She felt at home.
Now, she took every chance she could get to go back there after that. So when she was 15, she described a nocturnal visit from the mummy of Pharaoh Seti I.
A nocturnal visit?
And yeah, like at night. In her
Yeah.
sleep, like fucking what is that shit called? I'm blanking on it again. Out of body experience.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
I can't believe I couldn't think of that. Her behavior after that, coupled with she started sleepwalking and having crazy nightmares,
Oh, great.
she ended up being incarcerated in sanatoriums several times. Every time I see the word sanatorium, I was in a sanatorium at tuberculosis. I think of fucking Scarface.
Yeah.
Every time I see the word sanatorium,
Well, sanatorium.
I was in a sanatorium at tuberculosis. Yeah, how'd you get that scar? From eating pussy, you know? Anyway, so after she ended up meeting, by chance, George Reisner's secretary. Now, George Reisner, he discovered a bunch of shit in the early 1900s in Egypt, like made a bunch of very important archaeological digs in that area, probably helped stock the British Museum at the time. The secretary commented, or George Reisner had commented on the lady's apparent ability to charm snakes and told her that spells on such powers were in early ancient Egyptian literature. Edie visited the 5th dynasty pyramid of Unas. She brought an offering and took off her shoes before entering Unas's pyramid, and she, you know, after that she still had like out-of-body experiences, and she was reporting apparitions, like she was seeing like ghosts and shit like that, you know. Now, during her early period in this area, I guess I missed just the part where she got married. But yeah, she was married at this time, and her like super conservative middle class family that she had married into was like, yo, this bitch is crazy. I don't know if I trust her. During this era, she would get nighttime visitations by an entity called Hor-Ra, which she claimed was the spirit of Seti I. She claimed that Hor-Ra slowly dictated to her over a 12-month period the story of her previous life. And that story is as such. It took her, and she wrote all this shit down, and it took up around 70 pages of cursive hieroglyphic text. She wrote this
Damn.
shit down in like cursive hieroglyph. It described.
This shit's not easy.
Yeah, no, dude. But she was like an expert ever since knocking her head. So she had been reincarnated, apparently. She was a young woman in ancient Egypt called Bentreshite. Bentreshite. Bentreshyt.
So it's like two souls sharing the same body.
Yeah, or one soul sharing two bodies.
Shit.
Yeah, and she had been reincarnated into Miss Edie. Now, her name means harp of joy, Bentreshite. It's described as she was humble origin. Her mother was a vegetable seller and her father a soldier during the reign of Seti I, which that puts this between 1290 BC to 1279 BC. And remember, BC counts backwards,
Yeah.
right? Everything counts out from zero. Anyway,
Yeah,
so,
BC is before Christ.
yeah. When she was 3, her mom died, and she was placed in the temple of Kam El Sultan because her father couldn't afford her, right? She was brought up to be a priestess. When she was 12, the high priest asked her if she wished to go out into the world or stay and become a consecrated virgin, which is like, damn, that's a hell of a choice for a 12-year-old. Do you want to spend the rest of your life in here as a virgin, or do you want to go experience life? They should at least give her like Springer, like you get 6 months to go experience the rest of Egypt, and then you can decide whether or not you want to come back.
Right.
But don't fuck nobody. So anyway, she decides that she is gonna take the vows and just be a virgin because she just didn't understand. So during the next 2 years, she learned her role in the annual drama of Osiris's passion and resurrection, the role that only a virgin could perform. And then one day, Seti I visited her and spoke to her, and they became lovers, eating quote-unquote the uncooked goose, which is an ancient Egyptian term for like forbidden fruit. It's the same terminology. And then she became pregnant.
That's weird.
I mean,
That's a little
no,
strange.
like she's talking about like
okay.
her past life person became
okay.
pregnant
Okay.
with Seti the first baby.
Okay.
And so she told the high priest.
I thought she got pregnant by this entity.
No.
That'd be.
No. Her past life,
I see. Yeah.
So she, bumped the mic. She informed her high priest, and he was like, "You just fucked up. That's a terrible offense against the god Isis, and death is the most likely penalty." So, unwilling to face public scandal for Seti, she committed suicide. Right? She unalived herself. So now let's skip ahead. We're back in real time now, not ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
In 1956, the company that Edie worked for went under. Her former boss, who she was still close with, it was an archaeological company, told her that she should, quote, climb the Great Pyramid, and when you reach the top, just turn west, address yourself to your Lord Osiris, and ask him, Quo vadis, which is Latin for where are you going? And then he offered her a choice of taking a well-paid job in the Cairo Records Office, which is just like pencil pusher, or she could go to Abydos and be a draftswoman, writing up paperwork and like creating maps and shit like that.
It's crazy.
So she chose to go to Abydos. Now, in 56, later that year, she set up a home in Abydos, which sits in the cradle of the mountain of Pega the Gap. The ancient Egyptians believed that this mountain was the path to the afterlife. It was like, this is the entrance or whatever. And her son's name, his first name was Seti. So this lady became Omm Seti, because in Egyptian villages you're supposed to refer to a mother by the name of her eldest child. So she changed her name to Omm Seti. Anyway, so she's living in this area and she's a draftswoman, and she's like, this is where I was in my past life. This is where I was in Abydos. This is it.
Yeah.
And the chief inspector from the antiquities department in Egypt knew about these claims. And he's like, you know what? I'm a fucking tester. And this is the part that got me on the Ancient Aliens. This is the part that I watched where I was like, holy shit. They asked her to stand at a particular wall and paint at different paintings all over the temple.
Yeah.
In dark. It was dark. They're like, all right, in the dark, go find this painting. And these paintings that they had uncovered had not been released or published to the public yet. Nobody knew about these.
So these are all secret.
Yeah, and this is her first time in this temple, like in modern times, as Edie, as Omm Seti. So she completed the task. 6 out of 6 paintings she located.
Holy shit. Oh, shit.
Every one of them.
So it's like she's been there.
Yeah. That's the only way she could have known.
Yeah, she's been there.
In the past life, she claimed that there was a temple garden. You know, I spoke about this like when she saw the pictures. And
Yeah,
as a
she's like,
child,
"Where's
she's
all
like,
the
"Where's trees in the garden?"
Yeah.
Now her descriptions of it weren't believed when she was a kid. You know, but she kept telling people it's this and this, you know, this is what it looks like. While she was living in Abydos, the garden was found where she said it would be found, and excavations uncovered that it
Holy
matched
shit.
her exact description.
So they started digging, and sure enough, they find there's a garden.
Yeah. And there were walls on this place that were like, there was a bunch of hieroglyphs and stuff.
Yeah.
And she would help them reassemble this shit that had been knocked down by like the Romans and whatever, that by like memory. She's like, no, that one goes there and this one goes here, you know, walls that had been completely knocked down.
Yeah, and just like scrambled.
Yeah, no, these are mixed up, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. She's like, no, it's supposed to say this.
So she's putting them back together like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, from memory.
From memory. Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. And that is the story of Omm Seti. I watched a documentary, a BBC documentary also called Omm Seti and Her Egypt. That was pretty good. And that gave me a lot of information. So, yeah. And that's my subject for today. Fucking is reincarnation real? You know?
Possibly.
The fun thing about reincarnation is that they say in one of the religions, I think it's Buddhism, Pisces is the last in the cycle. Like you go through all the signs, and Pisces is the last one.
Yeah.
Notice every time, are you a Pisces, Mary? You're a Sagittarius, that's right. Next time you look at like a list of the, your horoscopes or whatever, Pisces is always the last one listed.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. I'm a Pisces from my last time, dog. My last run, bro, and then I'm done.
I never knew you were a Pisces. That's right.
Yep, I'm Pisces.
Because I'm a Gemini.
Ooh, Gemini. I don't know. I don't know many Geminis. I don't really pay attention to space racism.
Space racist.
That's what it is.
The
dude.
last episode.
Yeah. Fuck you. You're this sign. Oh, I can't deal with a Sagittarius. These guys are cunts.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Every time I've met this one, blah blah blah. You're
Yeah.
instantly making a judgment on somebody based upon their fucking astrological sign, which is like fucking skin color, something you have no control over. Space racism.
That's crazy.
Yep. All right, Sean. What did you bring?
Well, I brought, I'm going to discuss, I've been doing some research here well, a lot of things, and they all route to this one place, CERN, which I'm sure you're all aware of. It's where the collider is at.
Yeah,
The,
crooked ones, they could be known as concern.
They call it the LHC,
CERN.
the Large
It's terrible.
Hadron Collider. But here lately, I've been doing some research on them because I follow up on their website and stuff, and they're shooting by 2030. They're gonna try to make it, because of course I'll put a picture up here. If you notice, for the listener's sake, they got one right now, the one that they've been operating. It's 17 kilometers in length. Okay, around, like it's a huge. It's like pretty much where Geneva is, which is why they can do what they do and not get, they basically get away with shit because they're right there where, the UN is. You know what I mean? Because we're like the only country that's not involved with it, pretty much. Like one of a few countries that's not involved with CERN. There's a bunch of other countries that form CERN.
For our American listeners and viewers out there, 17 kilometers. I typed it in my phone here because I don't know the conversion rate by head. I said 17 kilometers in American, and it comes out to 10.56 miles.
Yeah.
So 10-mile loop.
It's pretty big.
It's like Briley Parkway.
And I believe it's also like 500 feet below the surface. So
Fucking Mines of Moria deep.
well, they did that so the sun doesn't interfere with it,
Yeah.
like solar flares and stuff.
Neutrinos.
They're building one next to it though. The LHC is gonna be pocket change compared to the one next to it. Of course, you'll see here in the picture for ones that don't see it.
More picture.
It's literally 200. They're gonna make it 200 kilometers in a circuit. So it's gonna be.
That's 124.274 miles.
And they're trying to get done with it by 2030 and operational.
That's like here to Murray.
Of course, this is going to tie into my next episode because I'm going to be talking about the Mandela effect. But that just makes it even scarier, because that means that there's probably going to be bigger changes with the Mandela effect, because it's a larger loop. They're going to be making bigger booms, basically, black holes and shit. But yeah,
It throws us into the fucking universe where Star Trek is real.
me personally, I think we all jumped timelines back in 2009. The future of CERN is defined by ambition on the scale that borders the unimaginable. Now, for decades, CERN has stood at the frontier of high-energy physics, using increasingly powerful machines that probe the fundamental structure of reality. Its current flagship instrument's the Large Hadron Collider, the LHC. It transformed our understanding of matter with discoveries like the Higgs boson. But in the eyes of the physicists, the LHC is not the endpoint. It is a stepping stone. Like I said, they're building a bigger one. What lies ahead is not merely an upgrade, but a generational leap, a new class of collider that could redefine our understanding of the universe entirely. Now, from the LHC to the high luminosity era, before moving beyond the current infrastructure, CERN is in the process of significantly enhancing the LHC itself through the high luminosity upgrade, the HL-LHC. Luminosity in a collider physics refers to the number of particle collisions per second. Increasing it doesn't make collisions more energetic, but it makes them far more frequent, allowing scientists to collect vastly more data. So, them introducing this luminosity, they're going to get more data out of every time they collide.
See, here's my question. We got all the shit going on in the world right now. Where they got the money? Why they got the money for that?
Again, it's not the one country, it's many countries.
That's what I'm saying. Because that shit can't be cheap. That's every piece of that thing is custom fucking made.
If you've seen pictures of it.
A piece the size of my fist is probably 10 grand.
It's got, I forget how many magnets it has in it, but it's like in the tens of thousands.
And like, there's only so many magnets.
Yeah, and they got magnets facing out and facing in, so it can pull and push the particle as it gets shot through. Because they're shooting these particles through at such, it's faster than light.
I have a question.
Or as fast as light.
So they make them collide.
Yeah.
Are they all going one direction and they're just bumping off of each other? Or like you got one and you speed it way the fuck up and then you just throw another one in there and it hits it? Or do you have like two tubes that alternate and they're going in opposite directions till they go fast enough and then you like release the fucking thing in between and they collide?
That's actually a good question. I'm not sure exactly how they, because I'm not a physicist or I don't work.
Yeah,
there.
that's just I don't work there. It's just a question. Just a question. I was just curious.
But I know they collide.
Something to research on your own, kids.
Yeah, I know they collide particles together, causing these little bitty black holes and making what's called the God particle. They named it the God particle. Now, the HL-LHC, expected to operate through the 20s, will increase collision rates by a factor of 5 to 7, also improve precision measurements of known particles, potentially reveal rare processes that hint at new physics, and the phase is crucial because it maximizes the scientific return from existing infrastructure while refining the questions that the next generation collider must answer. Now, the Future Circular Collider, the FC, that's the big boy. I'm sorry, it's 100 kilometers, not 200. It's 100 kilometers. That one is the bigger one. Now, if it's approved and constructed, the machine will dwarf the LHC in both size and capability. They're going to start building that one. They're trying to get everything arranged. Right now, the future of CERN is they're going to make, like I said, they're making the current LHC, they're going to make it the HL-LHC by introducing this luminosity to it to make more data, basically. Now, the location is going to be underground beneath the France and Switzerland border. So that's why...
Switzerland?
Yeah, I guess Switzerland.
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 The Fritzlers.
Now, the energy scale is up to 100 TeV.
What's TeV?
That's teraelectronic volts, nearly an order of magnitude beyond the LHC. This leap in energy is not incremental, it is transformative. At these scales, physicists hope to probe phenomena that are currently beyond reach. The motivation behind building this huge collider of this magnitude is rooted in unanswered questions that the standard model of particle physics cannot resolve. For example, now they're starting to dig into dark matter. Roughly 85% of matter in the universe.
Okay, show.
is invisible and undetectable through conventional means known as dark matter. It exerts gravitational influence but does not have interact with light, though, which is like black holes, for example, dark matter. The higher energy collider could potentially produce dark matter particles directly, allowing scientists to observe their properties in controlled conditions. So they want to build this big, huge FCC, the 100-kilometer one, just for dark matter. They want to study dark matter. They're like, if we go bigger and better, we can have more energy and we can create dark matter, and it'd be 100-fold of what this other the LHC can do.
I just feel like it's a bad idea.
Same here. It's kind of like,
it's a bad idea.
oh, hot dog. Like, I think they're gonna.
Yeah. So man,
like,
look, we're fucking with stuff that we don't understand
and calling
right?
it shit like the God particle. Come on.
Yeah.
You know,
like the humanity's fucking dumb sometimes. So they're fucking with stuff that they don't understand. There's only a couple of possibilities of how this thing turns out. One, which you mentioned at the beginning of your subject, alternate fucking dimensions.
Yeah.
Two, we just get sucked in. I mean, we could already be in a black hole. Like, that's one
like
of the theories, you know?
Yeah.
Or they open a fucking interdimensional space and start a fucking interdimensional war, like I mentioned on the last episode when I was talking about that book series. Or they find an awesome new style of propulsion or time. But you know, once they figure out time travel, there will be a time war.
Well, the thing, the problem with time travel is, and of course I'll talk more about this on the next episode, but with time travel, it's a little like we were talking about with Mike Markham. It's a little sketchy. Time is not really linear. It's kind of like a thread. So imagine like you got time going like this. Okay?
Yeah.
It's just a straight line, like you would, like if you're making a science fair project, like a little straight line of history. Okay, but imagine it being like a ladder, and there's other timelines above it and below it as like ladder rungs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reality stacked.
Yeah.
Did you watch Loki? You didn't watch Loki.
I've been watching it, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of like that in a way. But
yeah, the way it shows the timelines branching.
Exactly. But what happens is, if you're this close, like we're riding like right next to another timeline, like we're almost touching. That's where you get into frequencies and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Another story for another day. But we're so close to these different timelines, they're like above us and below us.
Yeah.
That if something happened, like for example, they started slapping together particles.
Yep.
Instead of the universe just ending like that, because again, energy can't be destroyed. It can only be transferred or shifted. It has to be moved somewhere. You know what I mean? Like you can't just, the energy has to go somewhere else. So, like I said, my theory is we stopped in 2009 when they started fucking with this stuff. And that's when you start having Mandela effect as well after that. And those Mandela effects are basically changes, not big changes, just ever slowly little changes. Because the higher or lower you go up on the scale, furthest from your timeline, the bigger the change will be. See what I'm saying? So if you just moved up a little thread, then you're going to, the only difference in stuff you're going to notice is like, well, why does Kit Kat not have a hyphen in it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or, what happened to Curious George's tail?
We're gonna save that.
Yeah.
We're gonna save that.
Okay,
Okay,
for another day.
So you were talking about frequencies.
Yeah.
Have you seen Star Trek Discovery?
No, I
The
have
show.
not, no.
Okay, so at one point they go to the alternate dimension, which has been mentioned in other stuff, where it's the ISS and Earth is pretty much just like one giant ball of racists, and we go through the fucking galaxy fucking everybody up. It's the Terran Empire, right? So this character,
Excuse me.
Captain Giorgio, dies. They get her from the parallel universe, right?
Yeah.
Where she's like this crazy empress. They bring her over. Well, at one point, Discovery also, because they travel along the mycelium network, mushrooms. So they end up traveling 900 some odd years into the future. Right? Well, they get into the future and Captain Giorgio starts experiencing these like blackouts or freezes. She sits down with a doctor and he explains this, that like, okay, we've had people come from your universe and eventually what happened is their atoms fell apart because we vibrate at different frequencies.
Yeah.
So the universes vibrate at different frequencies.
Yeah, all particles all vibrate at different.
Yeah. So when
Yeah.
she come here and then went 900 years into the future,
Oh, she's way out of whack.
because what it's like planetary drift, you know, and they say space is littered with the corpses of time travelers who didn't account for planetary drift. You know, it's the same thing with the timelines. They're stacked, but as you move into the future, these separate and new ones are created.
Yeah, they're not always straight.
Yeah, no, it's ever expanding.
Yeah.
So definitely the frequency thing,
It's like a little.
I'm on board with that anyway. And you
Yeah.
can understand how, like, okay, if the frequency of this universe that we're in is 440 and the frequency of the one next to us is like 432, which is like a little bit darker, you could see something like that influencing more angry and violent decisions, etc., etc., etc. So, you know, there's a lot in there. There's science to kind of back up some of these theories about stacked dimensions. And then, like, there's also theories that, like, some of these aliens are actually just interdimensional beings, you know? Or like angels and demons are just like, they're from this dimension and they're from this dimension, you know? And these guys are darker and these guys are lighter because maybe
or from different frequencies.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the frequencies, they are gradual. So it's like, it actually ends up going in order: 32, 33, 34, 35, 36.
Yeah. It's like with the, I was reading here, when they're building the FCC, that's the big one. It's not as simply as scaling up the thing for technology, but it requires breakthrough across multiple disciplines. Like they're going to have to increase the superconducting magnets to bend high energy particles along a circular path. Extremely strong magnetic fields are required to do that. So the FCC would would rely on next generation superconducting magnets capable of exceeding 16 Tesla, which is far beyond current operational norms right now. 16 Tesla. That would pull your skin off, dude.
That's like 3 Cybertrucks.
That's magnetism that would pull your skin off, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you got stuck in the magnetic field of it.
I'd be down for that, though.
You know what I mean?
Be a hell of a story. How did Chenry die? Magnets pulled his skin off.
Yeah. It's like Wolverine getting trapped in there and his skeleton.
Yeah.
Go.
Or Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines.
No.
When the robot, that one, gets stuck all up against the thing. Dope.
They're also the economic and political dimensions of this. A project of this magnitude comes with a steep price, estimated in the tens of billions of dollars. As such, the FCC is not just scientific endeavor, but it's a geopolitical one. CERN operates as international collaboration, and future expansion will depend on long-term funding, global partnerships, and public support for the fundamental science. It could be approved, and construction could begin in the 2030s, with operations starting in the 2040s or later. That's what I brought today, was about CERN. But yeah,
I am concerned about that shit.
Yeah, I'm concerned about CERN because they're trying to now branch off to the bigger one, the one that's 100 kilometers.
They're trying to get us back home.
And they're going to be like, well, they're trying to get everything, passed and all the red tape, try to get taken care of by 2030. That way, by 2040,
the motherfuckers need more red tape.
They're up and operational.
I'm always against bureaucratic fucking paperwork and shit. Yeah. They need more.
They're going to strictly focus on dark matter.
No.
Not a good idea.
No.
But yeah, that's what I brought today.
Yeah, we're fucked.
So hang in there, people.
Are cooked, fam.
Like I said, if you're like me and you believe in the Mandela effect,
yeah, dude,
we're talking about next episode.
Eminem called it, bro. They're gonna build that thing, and it's gonna be like FCC won't let me be. So
yeah,
we're gonna be FUCKED.
I think you strongly believe that our timeline as we know it stopped in 2009. That's what I think.
I think the biggest diversion is Harambe. I think that was a keynote time.
Yeah,
like diversion.
Yeah,
he went. It was already like up here, and then it was like Harambe.
Yeah, that took another turn.
Harambe is responsible for COVID.
You never know. In a parallel universe somewhere, he may be.
All right,
y'all take it easy.
Take her sleazy.
Bye now.
Hey everybody, Chenry here with ads. If you or someone you know would like to run an ad with the Wicked Paranormal Team or Dead Time Stories podcast, please feel free to reach out at wickedparanormalteam@gmail.com. That's wickedparanormalteam@gmail.com.